არა, ცენტრალურ დეტას არ გეუბნები. ცენტრალურ დეტალთან ხო არ ჩანს ეს სარჩული. ეს გეომეტრიულად მონაკვეთების სხივების კონჩი კონდეს რა.
ხო, მაგას თორემ განსხვავებული იქნება. აი, გახსოვს მჩენთეს რა ქონდა?
Tina and Mariam permanently discuss how to refine their wooden bags, a bag that emerged within a startup project called Populus and extended as a successful business.
იდეა როგორ დაგვაყარა. მე და მარიამ ერთად ვსწავლობთ და
Mariam and I studied together. We were classmates. One day we met each other and thought to do something together. We decided to create bags and beautify them with Khafsurian embroidery. Working considering the national culture would be more interesting for Georgian consumers as well as for foreign ones.
But the idea needed to be realized, and girls started to search for supporters. Tech Park, a space for innovations under the Ministry of Economics and Sustainable Development, appeared to be the most suitable one. More specifically, a periodic project started the business with FabLab that began in September 2015. It supports startups, entrepreneurial ventures typically describing newly emerged, fast-growing businesses. FabLab is equipped with high-tech machines that Tina and Mariam needed for creating a prototype and producing their bags. The project offers trainings about marketing, management, branding, technical and theoretical resources needed for a company to be formed. Participants search for materials to use and create a prototype of a product. After the training part, participants have to search for sponsors. This stage appeared to be the hardest for Tina and Mariam. State project does not consider to help startups to find sources of money. After sharing the experience of previous participants, girls agreed that searching for private sponsors had no sense as well. First investment they made from their own scholarships amounted 400 laris. First revenue of 365 laris was from the exhibition sale on March 8. Tina and Mariam continue producing their wooden bags and even manage to enrich them with different details. Girls believe the reason of their success was the past experience of making handmade accessories, good marketing packaging, love to their own product, but especially availability of startup capital.
We were lucky compared to other startups. There were companies that did not have any financial resource, managed to create just one prototype, and could not continue producing.
Dimitri is one of those participants who stopped producing as soon as the project startup the business with FabLab ended. Manually processed 3D wooden puzzles called Kvudi is new on Georgian toy market.
Everyone knows that today each toy is dangerous for children, but my toy is ecologically friendly, no paints or additives are used, and I think it will be interesting for children and adults as well because each detail will be packed separately with instructions, and I believe adults will be interested too because the toy has a function of a puzzle.
Problem of funding overweighed the advantages of the product. Good sales on the exhibition could not change anything as well. Dimitri speaks about the limitation during the practical part of the project as well.
We had a 2-week time period, but there were 15 groups and it somehow caused rows for the equipment. Despite that, each group had approximately 10 hours. For example, for me, this time was not enough because processing of my product takes much more time.
Tina and Mariam also mentioned that they have been left without time to use the equipment several times. From June 17, a new project, Startup Georgia, began. Partnership fund via collaboration with the Georgia's Innovation and Technology Agency offer a capital from 15,000 to 100,000 lari for each innovation. In this model, program's beneficiary has to submit 10% of the investment. His business idea will be considered as a joint capital with 14% deposit. The beneficiary becomes a 50% shareholder in a new company, and the rest half is possessed by the government. Even 10% of capital can be a barrier for beneficiary. Dimitri, for example, is not going to participate in a new project, as he does not have money and he is not strong enough to share the business with anyone, even with the government. Sandro Asatiani, founder of innovative technology laboratory GeoLab, notes that funds in foreign countries offer more strict terms for startups.
The project itself is very interesting because if you have just 10% and need 90%, then the government finances the rest. But asks for 50% in return and not 90%, that is good as well. And it's because to have a lever to see how the business develops. This 10% is not to bring from home. You can interest some businesses telling that you have 90% from the project and need just 10 from them.
Mariam and Tina are two of whole 118 people participating in the project. They continue working constantly.